I come from the cold waters of Cornwall in the UK, where I live and surf with my family. Cornwall has not only inspired me to become a surfer, but also a writer and a geographer, passionate about celebrating emerging surf cultures. I think that surfing is a wonderful way to engage with communities and explore critical issues of sustainability. I am particularly attracted to the off-the-beaten-track locations. I call these places the brilliant corners, and I'm on a journey to discover what we can learn from the brilliant corners of the world. In the first part of my adventure through the Indian Ocean island of Madagascar with Mike Lay and James Parry, we learned some local Malagasy and atmospheric old Antananarivo.
In Malagasy, to halt to say hello is Manaona or Salama.
Travelled through the land of the fiercely proud Sakalava people.
How'd you lose your tooth? I know it's
Before meeting up with Mada Surf Lodge founder Blair Rogers in Tuliar in the far southwest of the country.
I knew from the first time I came to Madagascar I was going to end up living here.
And we're now feasting on our first surf of the trip. After the surf, we sail further down the coast towards Mada Surf Lodge in the heartland of the Vezo. The Vezo, which simply means the one who paddles or the paddler, are the last nomads of Madagascar, and their pirogues and lacanas or dugout canoes are their lifeblood and livelihood. They migrate with families chasing the fish stocks. But these days, many live in permanent settlements like Tuliar, where the fish market is the beating heart of the town. But we've journeyed further south to the more laid-back area of Anakao.
I'm very, very glad you passed.
The Vezo believe they are descended from mermaids. It turns out that anyone can become Vezo. In fact, the term Vezo is not defined as an ethnic group, but a way of life. And wave riding on broken pieces of wood has been a long-established part of this way of life. It's no surprise that Blair fell in love with this way of life.
I have a lot of respect for them. They're like really good at everything they do. They have no assistance from anybody, completely autonomous, and they're lovely people. They've got the biggest smile, they're laughing the whole time because they're not worried about what's going to happen in the future. They're just concentrating on getting on from day to day. They're worried about where the next meal's coming from, and that's all.
But having such a subsistence lifestyle isn't always easy. Hunter, who runs Ansaraki Beach Lodge in a place called Solara close to Anakao, is Vezo, and explains to me how the pirogues work, but how such wind, swell and weather-dependent lifestyles have their hardships.
It's very, very difficult because here sometimes windy, it's no food.
But irrespective of the hardships, water is in the blood of these people.
I love the sea. I love the sea.
I ask Hunter what she thinks of the travelling surfers.
I like the surfing visit here. I enjoy.
Raleigh is one of the best local Vezo surfers. He grew up surfing on balsa boards on the sandbars in front of Anakao, and with his gymnastic frame and brilliant dance moves, he's already a living legend.
Teakum sa surfa sa fe teakum ba hahai, ba mahai manake vaza.
I'm keen to ask Raleigh how Anakao has changed since he was a youngster learning to surf and fish.
Niu Anakao sa tia taluha ranu ambani. Amisau ranu nabu. Bakeo misi fisa surfesua Anakao na nikizau zau mampiu vaze.
Of course, sea level rise is no joke, as low-lying communities like these are at the front line of climate change. But for now, the local kids are making the most of the better high tide waves.
It's when they're kids, they don't have to work, so they just play and they go surf. But once they get a bit older, they all sort of have to go out fishing to help the family and stuff, and fishing hours and surfing hours are basically the same. The best time for surfing is when the winds are not too strong, or if you've got offshore winds. It's the same for fishing. As soon as the winds turn onshore, that's when we stop surfing. It's the same time when they put up the sail and they sail back in. So it's pretty hard for them to surf and fish at the same time. They've got to make a choice. It's one or the other. Either they go surfing or they go fishing and find food for the family.
Mada Surf Tours operate 2 surf boats, both with Malagasy skippers. I asked Blair how he selects his skippers.
I only employ skippers from Anakao. You need to know this region. These guys have grown up here just from when they're like 5 years old. They're out in the pirogues going through the reef passes and everything, so they know everything about every pass. As far as being out in the ocean, negotiating the waves and everything, they're top. They're really, really good. You know, a lot of respect for them.
You can tell he has a different relationship with the area than Blair. Just a deeper connection through his Vezo background, and Blair acquiesces to Raleigh's knowledge, which I think is a really cool relationship with those two together on the boat.
Raleigh and the other locals are blessed with a backyard of playful right-handers. James sticks with his log as a nose-ride platform where he plays a saltwater anthem, while Mike and I trade licks on our egg-shaped boards. One of the local standouts is Max. Originally from Fort Dauphin, a graduate of a business management degree in Antananarivo, and now working with Blair.
And he surfs good. He's probably the best Malagasy surfer in Madagascar. He's the best one I've seen anyway, by far and away.
Niasa ko Mada Surf Tour de surf guide. Izay minday-ndaty mandeha amin'ny village anday ro misurf.
While woodboard riding is widespread and perhaps ancient, use of fiberglass boards and the lifestyle of surfing is pretty new in the country. Max is the first local to earn a globally recognised surf coaching qualification, and I ask him what it's like to be leading the charge with Malagasy surf culture.
Surfeur aloha ohatra atao surfeur a Madagascar eto mahafinaritra sady soa satria fomba fiaignana tsy fataon-daty le raha ary tsy de maro mpahafantatsy fa misy ty mangala tahaky. Ary manahaka ahy zao faly sady finaritra satria izaho raiky avao GAS certifié ASC International Surfing Association. Izay a Madagascar eto ary tiako hozaragna ampitahagna ampita aparitaka amin'ny zay GAS rehetra zany zay raha zay.
Max is a special character. He's an amazing surfer, really charismatic flair when he's on a wave, and he just is sociable. He has an immediate presence when you're talking to him. You can totally get on his level straight away. The similarities between our lives up to this point were really striking because he had to weigh up his love of surfing and then his future in terms of getting a degree, which I also had to do. His mum wanted him to get a degree and he wanted to just go surfing, and he eventually got a degree, and now surfing is his life. There are so many parallels, so it was really cool seeing how someone from Fort Dauphin, southeast Madagascar, can go through exactly the same trials and tribulations in their early 20s as someone from Sennen in Cornwall.
Well, when you're looking for a place to stay on a surf trip, it can be a bit of a minefield working out who to support. And I think one of the secrets is to research about local employment. Are the managers local? Have they been respected in the community for a long time? And Blair's place here is definitely the real deal. Blair's been operating in the country for over a decade, and he employs a lot of local staff, so you feel part of the community when you're staying here.
Anakao aloha toera soa ary tena mahafinaritra mihitsy. Mahafinaritra satria hoe lavitsy tsy misy toviza amin'ny toerana rehetra, ohatra hoe misy problème manerana Madagascar zao ary ndaty eto mivelogna amin'ny fiaigna reo tsotra ary milamigny tsisy korota zany.
So pretty much all of the waves here are offshore reefs accessed by boat, but for longboarders, beginners, surf lessons, there's a few spots right out front of the lodge. A teasing afternoon cross shore adds a few quirks to the waves, but this is a great spot to trade some rides with the local crew. Some of the local crew have fiberglass boards, but most ride any chunk of balsa or a broken pirogue that they can find. Max explains that the local pirogue builder also builds a few custom wooden boards, so we're meeting up with him to place an order.
Balsa wood.
Wow, so light! Light wood! Justin doesn't speak any English and only a bit of French, so Max is translating for us. And I ask if he knows when people started using wooden boards in Madagascar.
The floating side of the pirogue, they just took that and
It was just a natural thing because there were waves and there were things that floated and there was no outside influence. It was like,
yeah,
let's take that in there and ride it.
So do you think that the ancestors from Borneo, the Asian ancestors, would have ridden the boards thousands of years ago? The more I travel, the more I see all these isolated examples of wave riding. Quite simply driven by fishing cultures making the waves safe through play, and kids having fun riding prone on planks of wood. It's very likely that Malagasi's have been doing this for thousands of years.
Tsy mety fa milety raha honjana olo tsy ampy olo firy zany fa olo roa olo raiky tena marina tsy ampy aleo le toa mba nihitahita teo razambe nay taloha any le toa ty mba tininginy hazo retoa satria le hazo zany eo ankaiky avao mariny satria mariny moa tako zao amy vohitsy olo nanity laha intera toa ty mba hazobazo azao tao.
We place the order for a board and work together on the template, opting for a swallowtail. Justin is happy to crack on with the board right now and finish it by tomorrow. As the sun sets over one of the nearby ledging left-handers, we paddle out just before dark.
Hold me, darling, you're honestly home.
A big component of Malagasy conversation are greetings, followed by long strands of friendly chat. They call it Marisaka, which means good talk. Inona ni Marisaka, what's new? Or Tilalo ka, what's remembered, is followed by a yarn about one's relatives, where people have been, or maybe Simisi, nothing's new, if you had the same conversation yesterday.
All locals are amazing, beautiful people. You know, they want to kind of involve you in stuff. We're just playing football with the kids and so happy for you to be here.
So we're walking through the Vezo fishing village to meet Justine and collect our balsa surfboard. Pretty quick turnaround, 24 hours we ordered it, supporting local shapers and definitely sustainable, contributing money to the local economy. Salama! Of course, sustainability is a complex word. Until air travel is more sustainable, sustaining forests and coral reefs is a key to a carbon-neutral surf trip. But for surfboards, equipment built to last is a good step. and supporting local skills and crafts clearly helps keep subsistence economies afloat.
Manaum, Justine. Manaum. Salama.
Salama.
C'est très bon, c'est parfait.
A fini peu parce que juste comme ça.
Oui.
Justin is putting in the finishing touches.
C'est bon? Oui. C'est très bon, c'est très bon.
Mike and James are already out surfing the afternoon on shores, and I'm joining them to test out the new Balsa Beauty. The next morning, the sun rises like a ripe peach into a perfectly clear sky. We paddle out in the crystal clean glass, and James masters the balsa. Next time on Brilliant Corners Madagascar, we learn about how surf tourism in remote areas can help support local education.
One of the things that Blair supports in this area is for every surf guest that does come, they contribute a little bit of money to the local school.
David! Sam! And face our fears over the fire coral reef at Flameballs on the swell of the trip. Then say farewell to Anakao to travel back through the incredible landscape of Madagascar. I come from the cold waters of Cornwall in the UK where I surf with my family. I think that surfing is a wonderful way to engage with communities. And I'm on a journey to discover what we can learn from the brilliant corners of the world.
Do you like that? Well, if so, subscribe over there and then watch more videos over there. And then tell us your favorite videos down there. It's a 3-step process. Do them all now.